When a U.S. military website first revealed the front view of China's sixth-generation fighter jet, the J-36, did military observers around the world truly understand the geopolitical code behind the side-by-side double cockpit photo? The front view image, published on the War Zone website, reveals China's disruptive thinking on the rules of the future of aerial combat in stunning clarity. The pair of side-by-side pilot seats, and the unique silhouette of the pilotless diamond-shaped wing, with 3 engines on the back. The pair of side-by-side pilot seats, the distinctive silhouette of the droopeless diamond-shaped wing, and the 3 engines on the back define a super-heavy strategic platform, with a range of more than 3,000 kilometers. This maximum takeoff weight of more than 50 tons of airborne beast, combat radius not only crushed the U.S. F-47 fighters 1,500 kilometers of the limit, but also will be Guam Anderson Air Force Base hangar, directly into the circle of firepower coverage. This design is not accidental, but a cruel response to the geographic reality of the Pacific battlefield. The straight-line distance from the southeast coast of China to Guam is about 2,800 kilometers, and it is difficult for traditional fighters to maintain effective combat effectiveness even through 3 aerial refueling. The J-36 side-by-side 2-seat layout is the ultimate solution to this strategic dilemma. 2 pilots working side-by-side can simultaneously handle multiple tasks such as drone swarm command, electronic countermeasure suppression, and ultra-long-range missile launches through a shared tactical display system in real time, which improves synergy by more than 40% compared to the side-by-side 2-seat design. This design also hides the deeper consideration of wartime mobilization. More than 70,000 civil pilots in China can quickly switch roles in an emergency due to the similarity of their cockpit layouts. Analyzing the physical structure of the J-36, its technical ambitions are even more shocking. The 3 WS-15 engines on the back are arranged in a zigzag pattern, with a single thrust of 18.5 tons and a total output of more than 55 tons. Which not only gives it a supersonic cruising capability of Mach 1.8 but also provides surging energy for the airborne laser weapon system. As seen in the leaked images, the fuselage is covered with a special light-colored mirror coating around the air intakes on the back of the fuselage, which is made of nano-sized indium tin oxide material that reflects 75% of the ambient infrared radiation, suppressing the enemy's infrared detection range to less than 30 kilometers. The 23-meter-long wingspan creates an unprecedented radar aperture space, and the quantum radar system equipped with it has a detection distance of over 600 kilometers, which is equivalent to the level of an active early warning aircraft. What's more, the 7.2-meter deep giant bomb bay design, a weapons space that exceeds that of all active fighters, can accommodate 6 air-launched Longsword 20 cruise missiles, or 4 hypersonic anti-ship missiles. While the US F-47 is still struggling with whether 2 AGM-158 missiles can be loaded into its 4.5-meter bomb bay, the J-36 has already realized the functional leap from a fighter to a strategic bomber. This platform advantage directly translates into a devastating deterrent to the second island chain. Taking off from the Lingshui base in Hainan, the J-36 needs only 2 air refuelings to establish a continuous 5-hour combat patrol over Guam. Its tactical value is first reflected in the broken chain operation. When the J-36 group broke into the northern Philippine Sea, the U.S. Army E-3 early warning aircraft will be forced to retreat 1,200 kilometers, resulting in a sudden drop of 70% of the monitoring capacity of the Taiwan Straits. KC-135 refueling aircraft activity airspace is compressed to the east of Guam, directly cutting off the extension of the radius of operation of the F-35 to the South China Sea. More fatal is the double strike mode of Guam base, stealth mode. J-36 with the curvature of the Earth to cover the 30-meter ultra-low altitude breakthrough, 800 kilometers away from Guam firing PL-17 missiles, and outside the defense zone strike mode. The fleet of aircraft 2,500 kilometers away from the launch of YJ-21 hypersonic missiles. Its 3-dimensional saturation attack capability can be used in the war zone. In the out-of-area strike mode, the YJ-21 hypersonic missiles are fired from 2,500 kilometers away, and their 3-dimensional saturation attack capability can cover the runway, hangars and fuel center of the Anderson base. The Pentagon's 2025 wargame projections show that a coordinated assault by 12 YJ-36s could paralyze operations at the Guam base for more than 72 hours. The subversive nature of J-36 is more reflected in the redefinition of the essence of air combat. The case of PL-15 missiles in the India-Pakistan air war, which terminated Rafale fighters at beyond visual range, has been refined into a systematic combat concept. The power of the airborne laser weapon system reaches 120 kilowatts, which can burn through the missile guide head of a missile 30 kilometers away in 0.3 seconds. The quantum encrypted data chain controls 6 Dark Sword unmanned aircrafts at the same time to form an attacking swarm, and the weapons officer in the side-by-side cockpit is specialized in operating the PL-17 ultra-long-range missiles, which has a range of 500 kilometers. The PL-17 is a long-range missile with a range of 500 kilometers. This means that the traditional 4 phases of air warfare are reduced to a one-way hunt and kill, find and destroy. The U.S. Air Force University study acknowledged that this mode of operation makes the F-22's famous super maneuverability reduced to flashy acrobatics. When the J-36 locks onto a target 600 kilometers away, even the best Cobra maneuver can't avoid the incoming missile at Mach 10. China's aviation industry is bringing this vision of the future to life with breathtaking speed. Since its maiden flight on December 26, 2024, the J-36 has created miracles in aviation history. In the following 3 months, in January 2025, it broke through the thermal barrier and completed the supersonic test. On March 17, it realized the independent test flight without any accompanying flight, and on April 7, it swept through the low-altitude breakout test at an altitude of 100 meters. Behind the rhythm of 3 flights in 5 days is the industrial strength supported by the monthly production of WS-15 engine exceeding 15 units and the complete localization of stealth paint. On the contrary, the U.S. GAD program was forced to suspend in 2024 due to technical bottlenecks and budget overruns of the variable cycle engine, and the European CAP program delayed its service time to 2038. When a video of the J-36 conducting a highway takeoff and landing test circulated on the dark web, former U.S. Air Force Secretary Kendall admitted in a congressional hearing, "For the first time, we are facing a technological generation gap crisis in the Western Pacific." Musk, for his part, took to social media to exclaim that this was a historic moment comparable to the Soviet Union's launch of the Sputnik satellite, only this time it was the United States that was rocked. The trajectory of the J-36's tail flame across the night sky of the South China Sea is essentially rewriting the Pacific power map. When Guam is no longer a backwater but a frontline battlefield, when the air war is upgraded from a competition of pilot skills to a systematic confrontation, the strategic significance carried by this fighter has gone beyond the weapon itself. It symbolizes the transformation of China's aviation industry from a technology follower to a rule maker, and it also signals the end of the traditional air power theory centered on mobility. In this new era of over-the-horizon missiles, laser weapons and drone swarms, the roar of the J-36's 3-engine engine is announcing that the skies of the Pacific Ocean have changed hands, and U.S. military observers are being forced to revise prejudices that have persisted for 3 decades, perhaps best illustrated by the cover headline of Aviation Week in 2025, "The China that wouldn't innovate has done away with the Generation 6 track."